I never imagined I'd be here. 18 years with the woman I thought I knew better than I knew myself. 14 of those years spent married, building a life, raising children, sharing dreams. And yet, here I am. Not angry, not hysterical, just hollow. Numb. Questioning every memory, every I love you, every glance I used to take for granted. From the outside, our life was idyllic. Friends called us the power couple. Solid careers, 3 wonderful kids, passionate connection. Even in the bedroom, which many couples seem to lose. We didn't. 5 times a week. Sometimes more. Not mechanical, not forced. But real, raw, passionate. I never felt unwanted. Until I did. It was March when things shifted. I can't explain it easily. It wasn't some dramatic rupture. It was gradual, like the lights slowly dimming in a room you didn't realize was growing darker. She became distant in ways I couldn't articulate. Our lovemaking, once electric, playful, real, suddenly felt like I was trying to plug into a wall with no power. She wasn't responding. She wasn't present. Her body moved, but her eyes didn't connect. At first, I brushed it off. Stress. Work. Hormonal cycles. I chalked it up to everything except the truth I was afraid to consider. I asked if something was wrong. She said no. I tried harder. I lit candles, brought wine to bed, asked what she wanted. She'd smile, kiss me, go along, but it always felt off. Like she was performing, not participating. Then I remembered something. A few years back, we'd tried a new toy. Nothing crazy, just something fun to explore. She liked it. A lot. So much so that everything else, even my hands, couldn't do what that toy did. It became her preference. And I was okay with that. I never made her feel weird or guilty. But now, it started to feel like déjà vu. Only this time, it was different. I started noticing small things. The toy drawer slightly ajar. Batteries missing from the charger. The drawer's contents arranged too perfectly, like someone took a picture and recreated it. Then, one night while helping her grab groceries, I saw her phone open. A photo of the inside of her nightstand. That's when the pit in my stomach formed. Why lie about something so harmless, unless the lie is covering something bigger? So I asked her about it. Calmly. No accusations. Just a gentle, "Hey, have you been using the toys again?" She looked me straight in the eye and said, "No. Only when you're home. I promise." And that should have reassured me. But it didn't. Because I already knew she was lying. The worst part wasn't the lie, it was why she felt she needed to tell it. I never shamed her for using toys. Never once made her feel weird or wrong for exploring pleasure on her own. I supported it. Encouraged it, even. So why hide it now? Unless there was more. That night, she called me paranoid. Said I was imagining things. Accused me of not trusting her. And then, in the middle of a tense exchange, she said the one thing I never thought I'd hear from her lips. Well, maybe I'll just cheat on you. It was like someone had thrown ice water on my soul. I laughed at the time. Uncomfortably. Dismissively. But inside, my brain started ticking like a bomb. Why would she say that? Out of spite? Out of guilt? Was it a threat or a confession? From that moment on, I couldn't let it go. I started revisiting everything, looking for cracks in the surface. And I found them. We used to share our locations, not out of distrust, but practicality. Pickups, errands, logistics. But recently, I'd noticed she wasn't showing up on my app. I tried to re-add her. She accepted. Didn't say a word. Weird. She's not tech-savvy. Usually she'd say, "Hey, what's this?" But this time, nothing. Like she didn't want to draw attention. One day, I checked again. Location sharing was off. I asked her about it. She blamed our 6-year-old. Said he must have toggled it off. Except, to turn off location sharing in messages, you have to go through multiple steps. A 6-year-old couldn't do it by accident. She knew that. I knew that. I started questioning my sanity. Was I reading into things? Was I becoming obsessive? Or was my intuition, my gut, screaming because it finally had reason to? Then came the twist I never expected. I own a small voice recorder, something I used for work to record interviews, notes, meetings I couldn't attend. A compact little device. No one paid it much attention. One day, it slipped out of my gym shorts and into the passenger side of her car while I was helping with groceries. Total accident. Divine timing. I had no idea it had been left behind. 2 days later, I was clearing out old recordings. Skimming audio. Just deleting clutter. And then I heard it. 2 car doors open and close. Then the unmistakable sound of male moaning. Heavy. Deep. Real. Followed by the unmistakable sound of oral sex. Lips. Breathing. Wet sounds. If you know, you know. My stomach flipped. My hands went cold. I sat there frozen. Replaying it. Again. And again. And again. I didn't want to believe it. I couldn't. But I knew what I heard. I texted her immediately. Told her I'd heard something disturbing. She came home in a panic. I tried to play her the audio. She refused. Wouldn't even listen. Kept saying I was hearing things. She looked terrified, not heartbroken, not hurt, but like someone who just dodged a bullet. And then I made a mistake. I tried fast-forwarding and accidentally deleted the file. She let out a breath like someone released from prison. That night, I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, haunted by the sound. haunted by the certainty of what I'd heard. And she snored peacefully. That weekend, we had a trip planned. Just us. She wanted to go. Act like nothing had happened. She kissed me like she was trying to erase my doubts. We had wild sex like when we first met. But something about it felt forced. Like a performance. Like she was trying to overwrite something. She kept repeating how happy she was we were moving past everything. That we could start fresh. But I wasn't starting anything. I was still stuck in that car, with that recording, playing again and again in my head. Father's Day weekend arrived. We were supposed to spend time together as a family. But I needed space. I told her I was heading out to run errands. Instead, I drove around aimlessly, wondering who she really was and what I had become. I wasn't looking for more proof. I already had my truth. But the universe wasn't done with me. As I stepped back inside later that afternoon, I heard her talking. Not on the phone, just aloud, like she was reading or reacting to something. I froze at the door. I heard it clear as day. "Why are you so swollen? I just saw your Reddit." That sentence hit like a brick to the chest. I recorded it on my phone immediately, quietly. I didn't even know what it meant, but it sounded intimate. Like something you don't say to a friend. Like something that isn't meant to be heard. That evening, I confronted her. Played it back. Her face paled. She shook her head and said it wasn't her. That I must have edited it, or that someone sent it to me as a prank. A prank? I told her there was no message. I'd heard it with my own ears. And then I watched her unravel. Not cry rage. Slammed her fists into the bed. Screamed that I was tormenting her. Demanded I delete it. I told her I would. And I did. Or at least, that's what she thinks. Afterward, she acted like nothing happened. Like this entire chapter had closed itself neatly and painlessly. She asked if I still wanted to go to therapy. I said no. Not now. Maybe not ever. I told her, just don't give me a reason to doubt you again. She smiled. Hugged me. Said she understood. But here's the thing. I don't understand how someone can lie to the face of the person they once swore their life to. I don't understand how the warmth I knew for 18 years could turn so cold. And most of all, I don't understand myself for staying, for hoping, for still loving her through it all. People ask, do I think she cheated? I don't know. Maybe. Probably. But sometimes, it's not about what you can prove. Sometimes it's about what you feel. What your gut tells you. And my gut? It never lies. I live with that doubt every day. I smile. I laugh. I kiss her. I help with the kids. But I'm not the same. Not inside. And I don't think I ever will be. If you've ever been there, in that quiet, isolated place where you know something's wrong but everyone around you says you're overthinking it, you're not alone. You're not crazy. You're not broken. You're just someone who gave their heart completely and got shards in return. I don't know how this ends. But I do know this. The truth always finds a way. And I'll be here, watching, listening, and finally trusting the only voice that never betrayed me. My own.